Italy hasn't been to the World Cup on 3 successive occasions. I'm going to me that I have challenges. I'm going to the World Cup on 2 successive occasions.
Yes, qualifying for the World Cup is one thing. Showing up and making a statement, that's a completely different game.
And this year, expectations are very high. African fans aren't just hoping for participation. They want impact.
Yes, 10 African nations are stepping onto the global stage ready to challenge 38 others. And this time, the dream is bigger, an African team in the finals.
Is that even realistic? Ghana changed coaches just months before kickoff. DR Congo faced health concerns before travel, and South Africa has battled visa delays. But can they overcome all of these challenges and deliver at the global stage?
They're not ready at all because the way I see things, no.
Let them go and drink water and they'll come back. Not now. Not now. Maybe 2030 there.
That is helplessly skeptical, but let's not forget that Africa has delivered before. Morocco reached the quarterfinals. Ghana and Senegal, including Cameroon, have also made it to the quarterfinals.
Exactly. Football loves surprises, but preparation matters, and so does belief. Once that whistle blows, it's all about results.
We are going to face them at the World Cup, and we will not give an excuse that we do not have pitches in Ghana, and so when they beat us, it's normal. No.
And that's the spirit. 10 African nations, 1 global stage, and everything to play for.
So today we ask, is Ghana ready to conquer the world?
That's how sporty the feeling is going to be today under the Baobab. Today we are turning the tempo a little bit. Is it up or down? Where is your energy?
Tell me about it.
I should say it's a little bit down there, going up gradually, slowly but surely. And you?
But I mean, you can't use that energy when it's a sporty show. When we're talking about football, me, I'm game.
Okay.
My energy is up there, and I hope I can maintain it. But as a ritual, we want to begin with the comments from last week's show, Mimi.
Yes, last week's show, it went like viral. Thank you so much for all the engagements. We know you are watching, we are seeing you, and we were focusing on Ghana and looking at how the Ghanaians are protecting their own citizens and whether they are safe in South Africa. I want to read this comment from Tribe Group International, who says that the truth must be told. It's not about illegal or undocumented immigrants as mainstream media reports. These people are attacking every black foreign migrant, even if you're legally documented in South Africa or not. And
we had Shfalush, who says, thank you for your fair and balanced reporting in this matter.
And that's what makes Under the Baobab special, We hear from you, we listen, and we bring it here to have a conversation about what you say. And yes, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mimi Mefoneu, and this is Under the Baobab.
Of course, my name is Jojo Kachi. On this show, we make Africa's biggest and heaviest issues, and we make them personal.
Every Friday of the week, we demand accountability from policymakers, leaders. You've seen some of them here Under the Baobab, and experts shaping our continent. And your voice sits at the center of these conversations and this table. Now, carefully reading through some of the comments from our previous episodes, we saw unanimous call for unity. People were saying that there's need for Africans to really work together and forget violence and forget all the emotions that we've been seeing. And tell you what, Ghanaians and South Africans may have different views when it comes to, sensitive topics like migration, like what is happening in South Africa. But one thing that brings us together, what is that, George? Football.
Sports. It's not just football, but sports. I tend to think like whenever you mention sport, it's one thing that, would alleviate, the hate or even the disunity that may be appearing among, Africans. I remember you just mentioning that Cameroon is also one of the teams that qualified for the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
In the 90s, and you mentioned that the glory days are over.
Yes, you mentioned that with a lot of pride. And I feel like part of that, celebration.
Is that why you're wearing Osimhen's shirt today?
Yeah, today I'm, donning a Nigerian, so I have to hide it anyway. So we are getting sporty, and so is the entire world. From June 11th to July 19th, 2026, the world turns to North America, where 48 teams will be battling for one golden trophy that defines greatness. Ghana's Black Stars are back to the World Cup. stayed for the fifth time, and today we are speaking to Henry Asante Twum, who is the head of communications at the Ghana Football Association.
Carlos Queiroz and his team will open their campaign with what is widely regarded as a must-win encounter with Panama. That's going to be on the 18th of June.
Yes.
And it's going to be taking place on the BMO field in Toronto, Canada. And this will be followed by matches against the Group L favorites. We have Croatia and England. These are very strong teams when it comes to the World Cup. You know, England took out Cameroon in the quarterfinals. I'll never forget that. And currently ranked the 74th by FIFA, Ghana also is entering. I don't like this word, but we usually use it in football as the underdogs, you know, and proceeding past the group stage. And it's proceeding past that particular group stage where Ghana belongs.
Yes.
Is highly been debated. People are questioning, is it going to be possible for Ghana or not?
I'm sure Nigerian fans whom, I'm donning their jersey today, would be very keen to see if their sibling, or rather their brothers...
Do you think they'll be supporting Ghana?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But I mean, it's a football bonanza that everybody is wishing that every participating African team will, have a successful outing and good performance altogether. And that's why everybody will be interested and, eager to watch the matches. And true to, I know you don't like the term underdogs, but currently given Ghana's performance in their, international friendly matches, it has left less to be desired. And this, has invited criticism among many football lovers in Ghana. And people are claiming that there is chaotic preparation sort of, and therefore they doubt if Black Stars will really perform.
When the head is being changed at the, on the eve of an international event like the World Cup, people can't help but question. But we know that those who are in charge of football should certainly know what they are doing. Ghana has also reached the knockout stage twice. Remember, in 2010, right, George?
Yes. So, they did that, and still critics say this campaign could be, a stretch too far. So I asked Henry, are Ghana's preparations on track?
In football, every yard counts. So when you are preparing for major competitions like the World Cup, you do not have to take things for granted. That is why it will be premature at this time to say that we are ready or we are not ready. What I see is very, very impressive and heartwarming. I see players who are sharp in training, fighting for a place in the team, trying to impress the new technical team, trying to impress the new head coach. And so far, it has been extremely impressive.
Henry, you sound incredibly assuring and optimistic. But let's be real, not all Black Stars fans are buying it. And for example, one fan posted on our Facebook page, Ghana is the only African team that sacked their coach and appointed a new one just months before the tournament. Who on earth does that? How do you answer to that, Henry?
2 weeks of preparation is a lot of time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks of preparation is a lot of time. We would have loved to go to the World Cup with a coach that qualified us, but unfortunately, results were not looking good. And then following the search period and the processes, we came up with, Carlos Queiroz as the new coach of the Black Stars. He is very experienced, and that's what we needed at this particular moment.
Yeah, but even with massive experience, tactical continuity is everything in football, Henry. Now, if Carlos Queiroz crashes out of the group stage, will your leadership accept administrative responsibility for ruining the team's preparation, or will you blame it on the coach?
Carlos has experience, having coached some of the best talents that football can boast of, from the Ronaldos to Cristiano Ronaldo to Roberto Carlos. He's worked in Egypt. In fact, the last time Egypt were in the final of the AFCON, he was their coach in 2019. We are solidly behind him. We think he has the impetus to take us to the World Cup and make our nation proud.
And look, Henry, don't get it twisted. Every Ghanaian football lover wants Queiroz to succeed and make the nation proud. But even right now, there are serious claims that you guys at the association have been meddling with the final team selection. Did the coach actually get 100% control of the final list?
A player like Antoine Semenyo, he wasn't brought into the Black Stars by any coach. We, through the scouting department, that is the technical directorate, and calls from Ghanaians in the diaspora, discover these players, and we make recommendations to the coaches for them to look at them. So imagine if we had said that because Ghanaians will say we always try to intervene in talent, in player selections and what have you. Any quality player who is qualified to play for Ghana, we will sit down unconcerned without making those recommendations to the technical team. We wouldn't be where we are today. Antoine would have been playing for a different country. Jiku would have been playing for a different country. Jerome Opoku would have been playing for a different country. Ali Duseidu would have been playing for a different country. So when we see talents who are good and have the quality to improve the team, we speak to the coaches. And I wonder if that can be termed as interference. And the coaches have the right to either choose or accept what we have recommended or reject. So it's not an issue of imposition, it's an issue of recommendation. This is football. In football, everybody has an opinion, everybody has the other mind. What you think is normal is seen as weird, by the other mind. But collectively, there is only one way for us to make progress. And that one way, which is part of leadership, is to accept every criticism that come your way. For me, I don't think there is a problem when you are being criticized for the work you do. It only becomes a problem when insults are traded, when people begin to attack your family, when people begin to attack your person. But aside that, if it's about criticism, objective and fair criticism, I don't think there is any problem.
I tend to agree with Henry when
I'm rooting for Ghana, you can see.
I'm also rooting for Ghana and all the other African teams participating. But what he's trying to say is that in football management, a lot of people will criticize you. Like even Mimi would be a football pundit during a game, say like, this player should have been brought in or this and that. And I can't but, relate with what he's trying to say.
Yes, of course. He has the right to say that. People would always question, but like I said, these football officials, they know what's best for the team. But there's always a way to lighten the mood here under the Baobab. And, that was quite a heated conversation between George and our guests. So it's under the rapid fire question segment. Let us get to know him on a personal level.
Now, if you weren't working for Ghana Football Association, which local Ghana Premier League club would you openly lose your voice cheering for?
Wow. When I became responsible for my decisions, I moved on. And I moved on to the other side of the divide. So I am now a Kotoko fan.
So who is your all-time favorite Black Stars player, one who made you fall in love with the game as a child?
Wow. My mind, my heart is for Abidi Pele, but the soul in me always tilts towards Sule Ali Muntari.
Henry, are you waking up early for the English Premier League, La Liga or Champions League?
No, I won't wake up early for any of those competitions. I plan for the day and I tell myself that from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I will watch the Juvenile League, and then I will drive to another venue, go and watch Women's League, and then I will drive to another venue to watch the Ghana Premier League from 3 to 5.
Love it that you're supporting women's football. And what is the one stadium snack you absolutely cannot watch a match without?
Woo! Do I have one? What stadium comes to mind? I'm not too sure.
What is your single most stressful hour of the week?
When I am with the Black Stars in camp.
Your phone rings at 2 a.m. Whose name on the screen makes your heart drop faster? Is it the FA president or a top sports journalist?
The FA president.
And talk about that, how many unread WhatsApp messages are sitting on your phone right now?
Let me check quickly. Messages, I have 178.
And if you could have dinner with any historic world figures, dead or alive, who are you sitting down with?
Abedi Pele.
What is the hidden talent or hobby you have that the public would never guess?
Okay, so I'm a good singer. I love music a lot. I sing a lot. And then I am a guitarist.
Of course, I'm not going to make you sing for us, but describe the current mood in the Black Stars camp in exactly one word.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Nice. I like all the answers and the questions. That was quite hilarious. So let's discuss the elephant in the room, right? Under this current Ghana Football Association, GFA, the Black Stars hit absolute rock bottom.
Yes.
We've talked about it briefly earlier. For the first time in over 20 years, Ghana completely failed to qualify for the African Cup of Nations. And many people were wondering, this is a total disaster. Can Ghana make it on a global stage?
Yes, and I remember vividly, Mimi, we were watching a Cameroon match during the African Cup of Nations at your place with one of our Ghanaian colleague, and we were making fun that, they shouldn't be speaking because only teams that qualify for the African Cup of Nations
Should have a say.
should have a say. But now, hilariously, Ghana is going to the World Cup. And of course, that was, one of the dismal performance of this Black Stars team. And people wondered if maybe the problems that led to them not qualifying for the African Cup of Nations are still dogging the team. And therefore, even if they've qualified for the World Cup, they will not really perform.
So the question is a very simple one. How can the Football Association in Ghana look at the fans that are expecting in their eyes and promise that they are going to fix things with all these challenges that are lurking behind the scenes that you've just mentioned?
Yes, that is the question that we didn't hold back, and I put it straight to Henry.
It wasn't the first time that Ghana didn't qualify for the AFCON. In 2004, we didn't qualify for the AFCON. We were not part of the teams that played at the AFCON. Today, we are playing at the World Cup. I don't think there is any administrative failure. Today, Italy, one of the powerhouses in football, have not qualified for the World Cup since 2018.
That's true, Henry, but we aren't talking about Italy today. We are on Ghana, Black Stars.
We are talking about Ghana, but football is universal. Football is played across every part of the world. We do not have the best pitches in Ghana, but we have qualified for 5 different World Cup tournaments. What happens in England, the money that is being pumped in their football is completely different from how much is pumped into the Ghanaian football industry. But we are going to face them at the World Cup. And we will not give an excuse that we do not have pitches in Ghana, and so when they beat us, it's normal. No, football has one language. The language of football, the rules of football in Italy is not different from the rules of football in Ghana. So it is not wrong for me to make a comparison when it comes to the challenges Italy is facing and the fact that Italy hasn't been to the World Cup on 3 successive occasions. I'm going to that I have challenges, I'm going to the World Cup on 2 successive occasions. Failure to qualify for the AFCON, yes, was disappointing. I won't sit here and say that we were happy not to have played at the AFCON. No way. We always want to compete at the highest level. And the Africa Cup of Nations is one of the highest competitions in the world. But immediately when the team failed to qualify for the AFCON, we took stock. The coaches were summoned before the board. They submitted their reports. They told us about their challenges, and we ensured that we will qualify for the World Cup.
So can you name just one drastic lesson the Federation actually learned from the disaster?
One of the things we discovered during our postmortem was the fact that no team can qualify for major competitions without taking your points at home. In tournaments, the 2 teams are playing on a neutral ground. You have to prepare well. You need to put adequate measures in place. You have to be tactically genius to be able to win your matches.
Let's be fair here.
Yes.
Judge, Ghana isn't the only team that's dealing with pre-tournament drama. We also have South Africa with a visa delay, people waiting. I'm not sure whether they were actually going to be traveling for the World Cup.
Yeah, and thankfully that has been resolved. The visas were issued, but that was, very close, Mimi, considering that South Africa is opening this particular World Cup against Mexico. So imagine you not having the visa and you're the first team to open the World Cup. That was a bit, tight. But while we are on it, let's remind everyone who is representing the continent. We've got 10 African giants heading to the big stage. Speaking about Ghana, we've mentioned South Africa, Senegal, Morocco, Cape Verde, DRC Congo, that is Democratic Republic of Congo, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, and Ivory Coast.
And talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo, is also faced a couple of challenges.
Yes.
Particularly the Ebola, that is, spreading across the country.
Yes, and that's why they were forced to isolate before, traveling to North America. But also the fans also are facing a hurdle that maybe they may be denied, visas to go and participate. On the bright side, heavyweights like Senegal, Senegal, Morocco, and Egypt are looking incredibly sharp. And we can just say everything is doom and gloom.
Talking about doom and gloom, let's hear what the fans on the ground are thinking about our boys that are bracing to face other teams across Europe and across the world. Our correspondent in South Africa, Tuzo Kumalo, precisely is in Johannesburg, and Isaac Aleji in Accra went out to gauge the mood a little bit. What are their fans or the fans of the boys thinking? Let's hear from them.
This time around, we're more than ready. And we have international players. And you can even see with our league.
They must give up, Shem. Let them go and drink water and they'll come back. Not now. Not now. Maybe 2030 there.
They will disappoint us. They are not ready. They are not ready at all because no, the way I see things, no.
I think they are not ready because of our league. We don't have a strong league compared to the other countries.
Egypt will do better because they have a good staff team.
So I can't say much because we know Ghanaian football. So see, I say if it's not a lose, it's a win, and also it's just a game.
Ghana will do well, and also Morocco.
The best that Ghana can do is maybe scoring some 1 or 2 teams in the group stage.
Our squad, the squad depth is not deep. They are new to the national teams here.
We all do know we have a new coach, and we are expecting him to do his best possible to help guide the team in everything they do.
So we have a massive mix of opinions there. Some fans are saying that, they are going to do great, they will be successful, and others are saying that they are bracing, they are ready for the poor performance.
Yes.
I was just laughing when the other guy was speaking and even running away from the mic.
He's not interested to.
I think he's not really sure about what he's saying. But let's look at one of the biggest issues here.
Yes.
The Ghanaian fans are talking about these particular issues about Mohamed Kudus.
Mm-hmm.
He's been completely left out because of injury that he sustained recently.
Yeah, and I believe our listeners and viewers who are keen enough will know that the Tottenham Hotspurs playmaker picked up a nasty quad injury back that was in January, and everyone hoped that he'd be back by April, and that is the hula baloo that we are seeing in Ghana, that there was no transparency in as far as his injury was concerned. And it's officially confirmed now that he is completely out of the tournament in Canada and USA and Mexico.
That's always the biggest fear. You don't ever want any player to be injured. And what would you say if he's injured and is not included in the squad?
Yes.
But they have national team captain like Jordan Ayew. We also have Abdul Fattah. Please, if I don't pronounce the names correctly, let me know.
You're getting it right.
And we also have Antoine Semenyo.
Yes.
And we have also Kamaldeen Sulemana.
Yeah.
And Inaki Williams.
Yes.
Surely missing one player like Kudus that we've just talked about isn't the end of the world, right, George?
Yeah, and you see, everybody would hope so. So guys like Semenyo are already talking tough, and they're saying they are going out to win and prove that Ghana can go toe-to-toe with the absolute best in the world. Still, the fans are demanding answers. I wanted to know exactly how the FA is handling the intense pressure and heat from the public over this final squad list.
In football, sometimes there are things that happen that you cannot change. When players are injured, they are injured. You cannot take half-fit players to the competition to compete with the best teams in the world. So Kudus is injured, he's out. Mohamed Salisu was one of our best players in the qualifiers, is injured, he's out. We hope that we will not have further injuries, in the build-up to the tournament.
Well, you see, Henry, that is the hope of millions of fans. But has your association failed to build a proper technical blueprint to sort of ensure that the team is not so much affected the moment one star player like, Mohamed Kudus gets injured?
Years ago, we played tournaments without Essien, but we had reliable replacements. When we took office, we realized that the fundamentals of Ghana football, from grassroots to coaching to administration, those fundamentals were very, very weak. As we speak, we have instituted a very robust youth system, but these robust youth systems will not give us the results we are looking for today. Those results will start showing in 5 years, in 6 years, in 7 years, in 10 years. Now, you as an administrator or as a leader, you have to choose between development and performance. In Ghana, nobody has the patience for development. In as much as you are developing, they want to see their national teams perform, in the international competitions. Qualifying for the World Cup for the second time in a row, for me, is a major achievement in the midst of all the challenges we face.
Henry, let's now deal with the players' welfare. Can you publicly clarify right now if all players, bonuses, rather bonus structures, appearance fees, and travel logistics for this tournament have been dealt with?
I can only talk about logistics. I cannot talk about monetary issues. Our responsibility as a federation is to ensure that the players are in sound mind, they are in good condition, their training facilities are in place. And that is what we have done since we arrived here. I can confidently say that our campaign in Cardiff has been very, very peaceful.
And as always, your voice matters the most. We want to hear what you think about African nations' preparations for the World Cup.
And seriously, after looking at the mountain of challenges that Ghana is grappling with, we talked about South Africa and also DR Congo.
Yeah.
We wanted to know what your honest expectations are for the African teams that are taking part in the World Cup this year. And we had a lot of reactions online, Judge.
Yes, indeed. And I will begin with Kanrich, who is saying, not possible in our time. Favorable countries are already there. No African country is in that line.
We also have Olomidi Maunde, who says that African teams can make progress, but the win is a stretch. And keep those comments coming in. We are going to shift the gears now a little bit to talk about the 12th man.
Yes.
And they won't go anywhere if they don't have a huge fan base.
That is emotional support every footballer needs.
Right. The
Yes.
fan club is very necessary. That's why Ghana's president, John Mahama, openly declared that the state is broke.
Ghana is broke
and cannot afford to sponsor domestic fans to fly out and cheer the Black Stars.
Yes, it's a massive shift, I should say, because sending a government-sponsored contingent has always been, the tradition from Ghana, even Cameroon, I believe.
Yes,
so.
yes.
This time, the state is completely cutting the cord, and the president says the government will instead buy tickets and then hand them to Ghanaian communities already living in the US or Mexico or Canada.
I think that's a very good strategy. And even cheaper. It's less
But
costly.
what if you don't get, that organic support that you want at the end of the day?
They are
because the
Ghanaians.
fan base that...
The fan base in the diaspora is huge, George. Don't ignore that.
Okay, let's see. So I asked Henry if this is a concern.
The government may not have the capacity, but my understanding is that part of the support they are receiving from corporate Ghana will be channeled into that area. I do not have the full details because it is an activity that is being embarked upon by the ministry. I am sure that whatever it is, Ghanaian fans will be everywhere we play. That I know for sure. When we progress to the next stage, I know Ghanaian fans will be there as well to throw their weight behind the team.
But you see, there was a drive to raise, I think it was about $30 million from corporate Ghana to sort of help the World Cup operational shortfalls and private supporters travel. Did you receive the cash? And why can this cash be used to facilitate the fans willing to come and cheer the Black Stars?
Nobody has paid money to the FA. No corporate institution has paid money to the FA directly. So we are not responsible for that. It is the government that instituted that particular policy. We are not involved.
And today's show was quite interesting. It had to do with sports. And before we sign off, we want to give a massive shout out to our incredible community who completely drove last week's debate on our platform. Of course, I'm wearing the Black Stars jersey,
Yes.
but I'm supporting all the African teams that will be taking part in the competition this year.
Remember, your comment sits right at the center of this table. Drop your thoughts below and, we might just highlight your comment at every start of the next week's show.
And we see you, we hear you always, and we can feel the challenges that we as Africans are going through. Carry today's energy right into the comment section, especially as we are talking about sports and Africans that will be representing the continent on the global stage. Tell us what you think about the Black Stars of Ghana, DR Congo, Senegal, South Africa, and tell us what you think about their performance. What are your predictions? Are you positive or negative.
Yes. If you want more honest, raw, and unfiltered conversations about African sports, politics, and society, smash that subscribe button for Under the Baobab on our YouTube page,
DW Africa.
Yes, and you can also take us on the go. Catch the full audio episodes anytime on
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Jojo Kachi. I believe that you will have a very wonderful World Cup, celebrations.
And my name is Mimi Mefoneu. We are hoping that in our next episode we'll be raising
the trophy itself,
the trophy. Catch you next time. Bye.